Well, it must be the first day this year that I could actually spend a little time doing some work outside. This week I'm going to be talking about river cruising because I've just been working on our newest river cruise program, the Elbe, which I've just released and you can get a copy of down below. You know, river cruising has become very popular over the last 10-15 years, as you probably very well know. In fact, in 2016 they added, alone that year, 30 new ships on the rivers of Europe, and then another 20 in 2017. I'm not quite sure how many last year, but the rivers of Europe have certainly drawn millions of tourists every year. It's really a fantastic way to travel because it allows you to relax onto your boat and see these wonderful towns, villages, and the scenery go by. But you know, there's so many river cruises out there on the market that I decided to do something a little bit different. I think by now you well know that if everybody else is turning left, I tend to like to turn right. And so there's so much selection on the main rivers like the Danube and the Rhine that for our first Wheel and Anchor River Cruise, I decided to do something a little bit different. And this program is the Elbe. And you might not have heard of the Elbe River. It's called the Moldau in German. And this river flows from up in the mountains that separate the Czech Republic and Poland, and then down through the northwestern part of Czech into Germany, and then out into the North Sea. It's a magnificent river, and up until 2016, there were no ships that could actually ply the route between Berlin and Prague, which is where we're going on our trip in September of 2020. The reason being is the river's actually quite shallow, and so it needed a special kind of ship. So we got together with a company called Quasi Europe out of France, with whom I've done other cruises in the past, and we have taken a group allotment on some space on the Elbe in September of 2020, and we'll be sailing right out of Berlin. And as I say, what makes the trip particularly unique is that the ship can moor right in the downtown part of the city, actually in the part of the city called Spandau. And we can embark on our ship there and make our way through some towns that are otherwise off the beaten track, off the tourist track. In particular, Dresden. We reach about halfway along the trip, which is one of the largest former East German cities that was completely destroyed and remarkably restored with German perfection, and the city is returned to its former pre-war glory. So that's one of the stops along the way, and Prague, of course, needs no introduction. Even if you've been there before, it's well worth a second visit. So I'm very excited about the Elbe program, and you can learn a lot more by accessing the magazine, which you can get by clicking on the link in the story, in the article below, or by, of course, going to our website. Cassandra, my dear colleague, is going to be hosting that tour, and we're both very excited. She's a terrific personality, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There will be more details as well on our webinar that's going to happen on Thursday, April the 17th, so please tune in for that. Apart from that, this coming week, talking about webinars, we're going to be doing it on Egypt, Israel, and Jordan, which is a program we released last weekend. It's a re-release due to some revisions we had to make to the original program. This is very neat. If you've been interested in traveling to the Middle East, once again, this program can be done in 4 different variations. So tune in on Thursday to that webinar, and again, the link is below here, and you can find out a lot more about Egypt, Israel, and Jordan. And finally, I'm going to be traveling this week up to Eastern Ontario, to Trenton, to Kingston, and up to Montreal to meet some more members. I had a great time this past week in Southwestern Ontario, so I look forward to meeting many more of you. Please look for the dates for an event near you, and I hope to see you out, and I wish you, as always, in the meantime, happy travels.